Good morning, Magic 100 radio listeners, and by television, Forsyth cable viewers are watching. This is what, our third month of television.
Something like that.
We think we're learning and getting better. We hope you enjoy it. We may even get a microphone to hook up to the camera. Maybe they can hear us even better. Can you hear us? I don't know. We'll have to ask Beverly Dawson. But thanks for joining us for the reporter on the radio and television. What do we call it now?
Reporter on the multimedia platform.
Right, there you go. Or a reporter roundtable.
There you go.
Gosh, it's just...
they can see the round table.
You know, the Eagles had a song, Rich. I know you love music. The Eagles had a song, a peaceful, easy feeling. I have that today. I don't know why I would have that sense today. What is different?
Your kids are at school.
Well, that and
they finally caught suspects.
That helps too. But not the matter because Don's not here.
Oh.
Just kind of like that no edge, you know. You can't relax with Don around.
That's true.
He's just about to interrupt you.
You can go out on your tangents today.
That's
without
right.
any kind of restrictions.
It's Tangent Sunday. So we say. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll have to talk about a lot going on in Forsyth and Monroe County. It's hard to know where to start. We've had a lot of things happen even since we put out this week's newspaper, the reporter. But
I'm sure that's in the frame of the video.
I don't know. Maybe they can crop that in. But Richard, what's on your mind? I know you're working very hard to get our fall sports preview section done.
Yeah.
Tell folks about how Mary First is going to do.
Exactly a week before that beast is to the press. And
school starts August 4th. Today, as we tape this on a Friday, is August 4th, and that's. I tell you, Richard, when we were in school, I don't think we started this early.
I know I didn't start this early. I would have hated it.
I know. It's. I don't know why they. I think what they try to do is get in half the school year before Christmas. Is that what they're trying to do?
I think so. This is about the time of summer. I would have been going to the library trying to get my summer reading books.
Yeah.
And I would have read about 5 of them in the last 2 weeks.
You had 3 more weeks to cram it in. Usually start school around Labor Day is what I remember. Of course, at the University of Georgia, we both went to Georgia, and I don't think it was on the quarter system when you were there, Richard. But when I was there. The fall quarter would start about September 20th. Really? it was an unbelievable summer.
No, that did not happen when I was there. We were around August 15th or something like that.
Of course, we didn't get out till the middle of June, but
I dropped and added a lot that first week, so I didn't have to go to too many classes. So
yeah, me too. I dropped and added because I was starting to fail.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, I had a lot of W's on my transcript. But anyway, the point is school is starting earlier and earlier. It starts August 4th this year. And actually, Monroe County starts later than many of our surrounding schools. Bibb County started on Monday of this week.
The teachers were technically there in July.
Yeah.
The last day or two of July.
When I was growing up, we took our family vacations in the middle of August. You know, it was kind of... So, can't do that anymore. But anyway, that's the reality of how it is. And the top story of this week's paper... would be nice to have Don here to give. We could interrogate him. Maybe he planned to be gone on purpose when this big news breaks. But Don Daniel and Denise Collins have withdrawn their offer of train memorabilia to the city of Forsyth that was intended for a train museum. You know, the city's already hired a company to look at getting the museum to town, but of course they could never get the Historical Society to dedicate space. And Richard, you just sort of led the Smithsonian exhibit over there.
I was using this designated space.
Yeah, so you bumped the train museum. So I don't know. What do you think it's a big loss for Forsyth?
It could be. I mean, it's I don't know what kind of money makers museums are. But they're great for heritage and the history of the community, and especially being a big train place here in Forsyth, a location for a lot of. Shipping over the years. And
first railroad in Georgia, is that right?
It could be.
That's what we claim? Yeah.
I think
the Forsyth to Macon rail line was the 1820s.
Well, that's what we need a museum so I can learn things like that.
That's right. But it apparently is not going to happen.
Well, I mean, Don was patient. They waited 2 years, I think, to try to come to some sort of agreement. And maybe if it doesn't work out at this other location, that they'll eventually come back here and try again. But
yeah, we reported in this week's edition that the city of Fitzgerald is very much interested and has come up to Forsyth to look at the collection and claims that they're very interested in this. So
Was that reported in this week's edition? Or was it an unidentified location?
yeah, we didn't report that. We said Fitzgerald, but I don't know if we said they came up here. But anyway, our super secret sources have told us more information. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But if you want a train museum in Forsyth, you need to let the city council know and the historical society.
And Don will allow you to take a tour as his trains.
Yeah,
you can go to people up to his home.
You can go to Blunt and see the actual collection, Richard. And my little 3-year-old boy is a train fanatic.
Oh, really?
And we went for Forsyth does have a train festival every November. And when I took Ford, my little boy, to the train festival, which was in the historic train depot, they allow them there. They'll allow the train collection temporarily, as long as it moves out within a week. But my little boy wanted to, the problem was he wanted to touch everything and play with everything there, and that's not allowed. So
but Don frowns upon that.
Yeah,
you come to his home and try to play.
Yeah,
with
don't play with the trains. So that was hard. But he's only 3, so maybe older children can probably appreciate those things without having to touch them.
You can try again at this year's train festival.
There you go. Maybe they'll
coming in November.
If we have one, yes. Hopefully
I think we're gonna have one.
Okay, good. Well, other news. Richard, you reported an excellent story on the latest on the county line saga, and we may be in Atlanta this coming week. A hearing is scheduled for the 9th and 10th, which is Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, it's looking like we will be in Atlanta, at least for that first day. We'll see if it continues on long enough.
Secretary of State Brian Kemp still trying to determine what he's going to do. The Supreme Court has said he's got to make a decision.
Well, Don asked me just a couple days ago whether I thought this was the time he was going to make a decision. I said, well, it gives him about another 6-month window, regardless of what happens at this hearing, before he really has to do anything.
It buys him some time. I think that's what he's been doing for 6 years.
I mean, it probably is, but now he's got a little bit more legitimate time that he can say he's got to look over the notes and evaluate what he's heard, and it won't be anytime soon, I don't think.
What a fiasco. Well, Terry Scarborough now, the county line surveyor, who has long claimed that this is not a court of law, that he cannot be subpoenaed, that he cannot be forced to testify because this is an administrative issue, this county line dispute, to be settled by the Secretary of State, and so he claims he does not have to heed this subpoena. He's already testified. Richard, you were there when he gave his presentation of his survey. Actually, many times he's done that, I think, but
the only question I would have was, I don't know what he and Brian Kemp verbally agreed to behind closed doors, but when he gave his initial testimony, I think it was most people's assumption that Bibb would have the chance to ask him some questions themselves. They were not allowed to at that hearing, but there was supposed to be a future date for them to come back to do that, and it's got postponed several times. But this is supposed to be that date, so it seems, I think Terry Scarborough's survey has a lot of legitimacy, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be there just to answer what.
Yeah, and I think Monroe County, even though Scarborough may seem to be on Monroe County's side because his survey was so favorable to Monroe County, or supported our contention of where the line was, Monroe County has to.
You're on Monroe County's line. You said our.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I live in Monroe County.
Right.
So, and I think the survey is accurate and follows the law, which created the Monroe County.
Is that important?
Are we a nation of laws or of men?
Well, it's hard to tell right now.
It's hard to tell many times, but Scarborough would probably help Monroe County's case, in his case, if he would just allow Bibb County to ask questions.
Defend the survey. That's what he's been doing all along. I don't see why that's.
He knows it better than anyone. I don't think he should be afraid of a debate on that. But I understand that Bibb County. Bibb County's been pretty ruthless in the whole thing. They've
withheld his check for a long time.
Yeah, they've withheld his check, and they have found all kinds of various theories of the Waller.
Now they're going to get to bring him up if he doesn't show up. They're not going to be able to refute these.
Yeah, that's
what
right.
He thinks are wild theories.
That's a good point. And Bibb County is kind of like a defense in a trial. We keep saying this is not a court.
This is the cross-examination portion of the.
But Bibb County is kind of like a defense attorney where you remember with Chris Calmer trial that you covered so well. That the defense's job is basically to keep throwing stuff against the wall to confuse the matter and just hope something sticks that throws doubt into the state's case, because the stronger case, the facts and the law are on the side of Monroe County. So
that's the only designated survey.
Yeah.
He has to go where the surveyor says the line is, and there are no other options.
Right. He has no other options. Brian Kemp, the Secretary of State, and as you know, Richard, every week in the paper we include our little picture of Brian Kemp and count how many days it's been that he's been in office and has not done his job in state law of making the decision. We'll show it to our viewers right there.
39, I believe.
Yeah, we're up to 2,739 days without a decision, and the headline says, "Do your job, Mr. Kemp."
Technically, it's 2,743 as of this morning.
Yeah, let's keep a running total.
Unless he settles this afternoon, we're
I
going to
think-
be up to one more tomorrow.
I think what Mr. Kemp would say is, "My job is to run for governor."
Well,
That's
what is happening.
That's what
Yeah.
Secretary of States do, right?
I was looking at the list though of previous Secretary of States, so there are not many of them have actually attained the governor.
Right, but have any of them not run for governor?
Well, I don't know about
Let's
that.
see, Karen Handel, she ran against Nathan Deal.
Yeah, I can't name them
Kathy
all off the top of
Cox.
my head.
Remember Kathy Cox? What
She run for governor, she
Yeah,
ran for senator or something.
she ran for governor. So it's kind of a launching pad, but as you say, often an aborted launch.
Yeah.
So Kent may need to actually do his job because he may not get another one. All right, what else is going on, Richard? We had another front page story that the Chamber of Commerce building, newly renovated. They've only been there, 2 years maybe?
Less than that.
Less than that. There it is, the front page. Chamber building eyes as new city hall. What is going on with that?
Well, there's talk that, the city of Forsyth's been wanting a new city hall. They say the roof's not very good, the one they have, the leaky and so forth. I'm sure there's some other structural issues as well. And so they were talking about spending the money on a new city hall at the next to the public safety building, I believe.
Kimball Street.
Kimball Street, and they now decided the price tag on that may be a little bit exceeding their price range. So just about 2 blocks away from that proposed location sits the Chamber of Commerce building at the old Bank of America, and they think that could be a viable location. That would force the chamber out yet again. So
I talked to Mayor Eric Wilson, and I don't think there's any doubt that he is interested. The only question is whether the chamber is willing. And I did get an interesting comment from Nipper Bunn, the current chairman of the chamber board. And Richard Nipper said that he said he would not comment because all he said was we are continuing to do the chamber's job of promoting tourism and business. So he kind of was coy about the issue. But then he said it would be nice not to have a mortgage payment because the chamber, for the first time in their history, I believe, purchased property for their headquarters. They've been in several offices around town over the years that I've been here, but they've always rented. And so this is the first time they've purchased something, and it has to be a pretty hefty payment for a Chamber of Commerce when Chamber of Commerces are frankly struggling in small towns. To businesses are being more cautious about spending money on things like chamber memberships. So it's the chamber's not sitting on a load of cash to help pay for this mortgage. So it may be a good thing for them to sell that building. We think that they're probably owner financing. Bill Basemore, the former president of Monroe County Bank, or owner of Monroe County Bank, sold the building to the chamber. Probably owner financing, be my guess. So Bill may be interested in having a more secure tenant by going ahead and selling it incomplete to the city of Forsyth. And there's also talk that the chamber would relocate to Basemore's office right next to Gret's Cafe, which is beautifully restored.
is it large enough for that office?
There's
the Development Authority meets in that building as well, where the chamber currently is.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one thing that the city has pointed out, that the city the building would have to be retrofitted to have a council chambers, which tells me, Richard, they've obviously given this serious thought because they've got.
Yeah, 'cause that building, the back room there wouldn't be large enough to accommodate the public.
Don Daniel is calling in. Why don't we put him? Let's put him on the air. Don, welcome to the show. We are recording right now. What do you have to add?
Well, I have something to add. I just have a headline. I'm out here in Eli, Nevada, so I've got a
Okay, please share with our audience.
Transgender man gives birth to a son.
Wow.
Wow.
Not transgender.
I don't think.
I can't get my head around that one. Will.
I don't think we want to print any pictures with that story. I just think we probably ought to just describe it with words.
Transgender man gives birth to a son.
Well, this is hot breaking news all the way from Nevada for our radio and television audience. And we just, we didn't think you were going to join us on the show today, but I'm glad you called in to share this important.
Who's your guest today?
Well, we have the Invisible Man, the empty chair, and in your honor and your memory. So hurry back and join us again for the show.
Well, you know I'm always there for you.
You are, and
I just wanted to share that headline with you, Will, and to give you and the dude something to talk about.
well,
Thank you.
that'll probably take up the last 14 minutes of our show. We'll probably have to talk about the transgender man giving birth.
To a son.
Or how do we know? I mean, isn't that sort of...
I'm sorry, Will. I can't get my head around that headline.
Isn't to call someone a son, isn't that sort of transphobic to do that? I mean, you're assuming his gender without him giving him a choice?
I don't know. A transgender man. Really think about it. And wrap your head around it. Transgender man gives birth to a son.
In other words, it's a woman who had a surgery called, I believe the procedure's called an addictomy.
I don't want to get into those details. Hey, y'all have a great show.
All right.
See you next week.
Have fun in Nevada, Don. Don't forget to bring back my money.
All right, good. Well, hey, I've already lost it.
No!
Yeah, but I'm getting ready to go drive a train.
Hey, double down.
Bye.
Bye. All right, that was we did not plan any of this. It's amazing how live radio and television are recorded.
How unfortunate things happen when you're recording live.
Anyway,
So in the paper also, Miracle Treat Day was last week.
Yes. Did you get a blizzard, Richard?
I didn't make it that day. I got one not too long ago though. So
Well, good to see. Probably our Dairy Queen probably raises more money than maybe any Dairy Queen
whenever they did
in the state, because we have it's unique. We have a locally owned Dairy Queen. A lot of them are chains and they're owned by large corporations, and ours has a local owner, Ronnie Daniel, and he brings up Frank Malloy just about every year. WMAZ is a well-known anchor, and even sometimes they even have the lowly reporter people there as celebrity servers to help make blizzards. And this time, I do now have my blizzard making certification, Richard.
well, good.
So I've got career options as I get into middle age. I've got all kinds of choices to make, but a lot of fun making the blizzards and raising money for the Children's Hospital there in Macon.
Ford might be happy if you changed to that career. Who wouldn't want a blizzard maker for a father?
He'd be big as a blimp. So anyway, let's peel on into the paper and see what else is going on. Last night, Richard, our listeners and viewers hopefully attended the concert on the Square, Sole Purpose, the last concert of the year in the city of Forsyth, downtown Forsyth on the
Is it
Square.
the last one?
I believe so, for the summer anyway. So check that. We have other concerts coming to the. Y'all may have heard on Friday, this coming Saturday, August 12th, the Return. The Beatles cover band will be at the Fine Arts Auditorium as part of the school system's summer concert series.
School system was already promoting it the other day with some tie-dye t-shirts.
Yes, and they've got some local artists will be kicking it off. Man, help me out here. Not Trey Team, he's kicking off for Jason Aldean and Miles Benson. Some Mary Persons graduates.
I didn't know who was kicking it off.
We'll have a story on that in next week's Reporter this coming Wednesday about some local guys that will be leading off for Jason Aldean, the well-known country music star from Macon, Georgia. And who is leading off for the Return?
That's what I don't know.
Oh, hold on, it'll come to me. A local artist that you'll recognize, but I'll have to ponder that for a moment. In other news, Richard, you covered a very seedy trial, a difficult trial to cover of incest and child molestation. You want to tell our listeners a little bit about what they'll read in next week's paper about that?
Just a little bit. A middle-aged man, early 50s, I believe, allegedly sexually assaulted his teenage daughter, who was between the age of 12 and 16 or so, stretched over the span of years. And it's not alleged anymore because he got convicted by a local jury, and you can read more about that. He got 25 years in prison and another 20 on probation, so he'll be about 80 before he gets out, unless he gets early parole. So,
well, it's good to see.
Kind of a sad situation.
It's a sad, horrible story, but I guess if there's any silver linings, maybe some sense of justice was done.
Yeah, I mean, it pitted the family against one another because his wife supported them through the whole thing.
Wow.
As opposed to their daughter. So.
It was an adopted daughter, is that right?
Adopted daughter.
Now, where is she living now? Do they know?
She's still here in town. So.
I imagine that strained all the relationships. Well, everything that you need to know. The kids went back to school Friday, Richard. Probably the biggest business we have in this town is the school business.
Well, without question.
And 4,000 kids went back to school. And there's your cover of your back to school section for those on television. Everything, all the new teachers are profiled in here. You can find out who will be teaching your children, who the new ones are anyway. And it's just an exciting time. Like I said, lots of sports coming up as the Mary Person sports teams begin to ramp up for the fall. And one former Mary Person's athlete that a lot of us will be watching this fall is Malik Herring, and Richard featured him on the front of the sports page this week. He is back in the Bulldog uniform, this time the Georgia Bulldog uniform, and had his first practice, I believe, on Monday. And the question is, he's a freshman. Will he be redshirted or will he see playing time? And I don't think we know the answer yet, do we, Richard?
No, they have a lot of defensive linemen in the rotation, so I imagine redshirting is probably what's going to end up happening.
A likely option.
Kirby didn't redshirt many people last year over there, though. He seems to go with the let's
keep
funnel them through in 4 years and bring in another group. So.
Yeah, figure out how to gray shirt them maybe.
Maybe so. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if Malik ends up putting on weight, becoming a down lineman 3-4, or if he stays at outside linebacker. Becomes a pass rusher.
Yeah, a lot of people have speculated that he would be an outside linebacker because he's fast, because of his speed.
Pretty fast. Even Malik admits he's not super fast.
Yeah.
But he's athletic and explosive. He can really jump and stuff. So.
But he had I don't know if several, but he had some touchdowns last year and played some offense. But we have
he played sparingly at tight end for us, but he probably could be a college tight end.
We've speculated that now he won't be won't be playing much offense.
Not his first year anyway. Yeah, he
was
designated the same uniform number as quarterback Jacob Eason.
Yeah.
The NCAA doesn't allow two people with the same number to be on the field at the same time. So if Eason's going to be the quarterback, Malik won't be playing any offense.
That's right. So there's number 10 is a famous number. Eric Zauer was number 10, and now the Georgia Bulldogs have two number 10s: Jacob Eason, the star quarterback, and our own Malik Herring, defensive end. So you don't see many defensive ends with a 10. Yeah. It's usually a secondary defensive back number.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I can't remember what number he was at Mary Persons.
It was a single digit, I believe.
Yeah, he was 5. Maybe.
5. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Maybe he had some reason for what
apparently he likes the low numbers. So we also have good news in Forsyth because this town was absolutely upside down on Thursday with 5 fugitives who fled.
Plus some extras.
And some extra hanger-ons that tried to help them out. They were pulled over on the interstate. They were attempted to make a traffic stop after the Department of Public Safety. Those are those guys, Richard, that are by the weigh station that watch trucks and weigh the trucks.
I see them a lot.
They noticed that this truck going down the road, a Burgundy F-150, had a gas can bouncing around the truck bed, which I did that a lot. So I'm glad.
I can imagine.
I'm surprised I haven't been pulled over. But these guys they tried to pull them over. Well, they fled. They took off and wound up going over to Monroe Academy, the old Monroe Academy on 41, and wrecking into a guardrail, ran into some woods. They called one suspect at the scene, but 4 of them.
It was probably me, the real slow runner.
Yeah, right.
I'd get caught immediately if something like that happened.
Me too. 4 of them, though, fled into the woods. They caught 2 more later in the afternoon, but 2 remained at large, and they even called off the search, Richard. We posted on our Facebook page and let our on our website and let our readers know that, hey, the search has been suspended. People were not real happy about that.
No, I wouldn't have been either.
Yeah.
I live over near you.
It's getting dark, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. The good news is, shortly thereafter, we heard on the scanner that someone at Manor at Montpelier's neighborhood, Heather White, had a visitor, a young black male with a Muddy's t-shirt, asking to borrow a phone. They let him borrow the phone, which may seem surprising, but it turned out to be a good thing because he called a friend and told him to come pick him up in Forsyth. Well, as soon as she closed the door on him, she called 911. Guy wasn't real smart, was he?
It would have been a much better story if the guy had had a phone on him and he had read on the reporter Facebook page that
they were looking for him.
No, the search had been canceled.
Yeah.
He came out of the woods at that point, but apparently that's not what happened.
Probably he had one. He just had died.
Yeah.
Or as my 3-year-old says, it died.
This is like the time that guy was the murder suspect from Gwinnett County was walking through North Riverlea Farms when I was driving through.
Oh yes.
And you told me to get out and get a picture of him. I said I think I'll pass.
Oh, the things we do in the newspaper business. Yeah, Richard, I think I may have told you the story. I was listening to the scanner all day. We're probably one of the only ones in Forsyth with a scanner now that they've gone to these digital scanners. They're very expensive. So I'm listening all day.
Oh, some people around here don't need a scanner.
Yeah.
That have one.
Yeah, you're probably right. So I go over, I hear that they are, this is about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The police say they have cornered one of the suspects in Manor at Montpelier. So I race over there and I park at the gas pumps, where the county camp is. There's the county fire station on Montpelier Avenue. So I park there because I don't want to get too close to what's going on. I don't want to get too involved. I don't want to get shot, and I really don't feel like tackling suspects. So I let the professionals take care of it. Well, next thing I know, I hear my scanner, he's running to the county camp! He's running to the fuel pumps! He's running to the fire station!
Did you get down in the truck?
So all of a sudden, all these police cars come racing at my truck at 90 miles an hour on 2 wheels, spinning into the county camp. And they finally apprehended him in the back of the county camp. So I did not actually get the chance to pull out my 38. I have a carry permit. And do a citizen's arrest, Barney Fife style. Well, Governor Powell style. But anyway, it was an exciting night. So then, after they called off the search, all of a sudden we hear on the scanner that one of the suspects has arrived at this home, a brand new home, a family that just moved into Manor at Montpelier.
Did they put it up for sale today?
Yeah, probably were tempted. So, but she was a hero because she actually was the reason he got caught. Police very wisely, having chased these guys all day long, they did something smart, Richard. And I know sometimes people make fun of cops and talk about how they like to eat donuts.
They laid low and waited
They
for them.
They laid low. They did not scare them, frighten them back into the woods. They didn't want to. I wouldn't want to chase anymore. Just lay low. Let the pickup car come. It took them about 20 minutes to get there. They came from Macon. The two suspects get into the car, and as soon as they're pulling on them up here Avenue, boom, 10 police cars on it. We've got great pictures. Look for next week's paper. We'll give you all the details of how.
The most fortunate deputy on the force was the one who had to investigate the incest. That he was stuck in court with me yesterday. Didn't have to run through the woods.
Yeah.
But he did have to hear about incest, so I don't know if it was really a fortunate situation.
Kind of a lose-lose there.
Yeah.
Either way. But if it was Alan Henderson, he probably wouldn't want to run too far anyway.
It was Adam, actually.
Oh, okay, Adam Blanks, yeah. Well, a lot going on in Forsyth and Monroe County. School started Friday, as we said, and you should have in this week's newspaper, you'll probably have a preview of our first team for Mary Persons, the softball team, Richard?
Yeah, they've lost 7 seniors, so it'll be interesting to see. They're still pretty confident they're going to have a good year, but they had a loaded team last year.
Yeah.
They won the region championship.
Definitely
tough to replace.
Definitely a rebuilding year for the Lady Dogs. And school is underway, and we are about out of time. Thanks for joining us on the Reporter Roundtable. See, this is a round table. And they get it.
Not on the porch anymore.
We're not on the porch.
These cameras cause us to have to move inside.
We want to thank Don for calling in from Nevada. This is just for breaking new ground here.
Don was up at like 7:30 calling into the
Yes,
radio.
he was. Yes, he was. He's up and at him.
He must have been at the casino
I'm
last night.
so glad he called us to tell us about that transgender birth. That is just incredible news.
7:30 in the morning.
So definitely something you want to think about when you first wake
You
up.
can just picture Don sipping his coffee, can't you? Reading the paper.
I hope all of our listeners and viewers have a good week. And be sure to pick up a copy of the Monroe County Reporter. We come out every Wednesday. It's just $35 for a whole year, and that also gives you online access to everything. If you like to read the paper version, or if you like to read the online version, you have it your way. You know, we're like Burger King in that way. So thanks for coming along for the ride, Richard.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it. Good
Glad to
work. We got to get back to work, folks. Thanks, everybody.